Welcome back, guys. Tasteless and Artos is here. We're going to our final game, another best of one. The winner moves on, the loser's out.
Is right. It's going to be Bbyong going up against Savage. Flying is already out of the group, and so is Innovation, but in the other direction.
Yes. You know, Flying just did not play as well as he should have today.
Well, you know,
it was not like he played poorly, but it did not compare. Look at Bbyong today, for instance. You know, that was a short and sweet game that he played, but he looked good, man. He looked really good.
Yeah, that is true. You know, for flying for me, Tasteless, like even in Starcraft 1, I knew this guy, followed him, used to live with him actually. He's always been a player like this. That's
a lot of people don't know this. He used to live in a pro house. So.
Yeah, and he's a player that either his strategy gets you or it doesn't. Like
it's like he's got his own way of playing the game, and it's engineered against very good people. But there's these small little stylistic things that you can or cannot prepare against. That I don't know. I feel like I'm not articulating myself well enough here, but it's a weird play style, and
there's a reason why he's the only one that plays like that.
Yeah,
there's a reason for that. Yeah, and we just saw it there. He went out 0-2 in the group. It happens. But, you know, at the same time, it gives him a lot of power. He can take out a player like Innovation. Like, he can kill Flash. His builds will sometimes do that, and sometimes they won't. And they're just – the thing is, they aren't super reliable. Whereas a player like Savage, I'm like, oh, you're preparing well. You're good at everything, good enough at everything. I think you can make it through here. Yeah.
By the way, guys, I know it's our last game today, but do us a favor. Get out there and tell your friends to tune in here at GOMTV.net. Or what is our Twitch channel?
Twitch.tv/WCS_GSL.
Yes. And tell your friends to tune in if they want to see Tasteless and Artos cast in these games. And,
which they do.
They do?
If they don't, why are they your friends?
They're not your
serious? Friends. We can't be friends with you if you're friends with them and they don't like us.
Yeah.
That doesn't
We know you still want
work.
to be best friends with us, so think about that.
And we still want to be best friends with you as long as your other best friends like us.
Yeah, as long as you make the right choice, man.
As long as we're all best friends.
People. Look, I think this match is going to be really interesting, but I'm going to go with Savage, actually.
Yeah, I think
Bbyong's playing really well, but Savage seems to have a lot of preparation coming into this. We'll see what he's going to do, but yeah.
Again,
not going to be a hatchery first at the guy's entrance. That's not going to happen.
Certainly not. Again, if Bbyong wins, I won't be surprised, just like against Flying. But I do expect Savage to take it.
Yeah. Well, they're both very, very good.
Yeah.
You know, again, if you're just now joining us, we're doing 2 groups a day here at the Season 2 Star League. They're all best of 1.
Yeah, and that's for the round of 32.
I'm bringing this up because I think a lot of our viewers would be surprised how many people tune in for a little bit. Some stay the whole time, some don't, but we have new viewers constantly. So this is it's a similar format to the GSL Code S, but it's not a best of 3. It's a best of 1.
And, you know, it changes a lot of things. It does make it more volatile. But at the same time, it brings us a different type of game, which actually, for someone like myself, I don't mind mixing in a season like this every now and then.
No, I don't mind that at all, actually.
I like to see something like, how have you prepared for the best of ones in the series? And you can see something like, for instance, Savage going for that offensive hatchery. Like, you might see that in the best of 3, but it's going to be maybe a little bit more likely here. It's a different type of game, one that does exist in competitive StarCraft, and therefore it's worth studying to me.
Best of 7, different than a best of 5, different than a best of 3, different than a best of 1. You're going to have a different form of preparation here. And, you know, it makes it tough when it's a best of 1 because it is such an unforgiving situation. It's a situation where you have to research your player so well and then research the map so well.
And then you have to decide, do I try to play normal here? Is he going to play normal? If he's going to play normal, is there some way I can abuse that, a one-time build? Because those are going to be some of your most powerful, like what Savage did there. You know, if Savage starts doing that like every game, people are going to figure it out very quickly, prepare against it, and he'll never have it work again. So there's a lot to consider.
There absolutely is. It does look like we have both of our players in the game. So presumably we'll get this started pretty soon here. A lot of pressure right now, though, on these two guys. They want to get as deep as possible in this season, Season 2 of the Star League. But, you know, it's so unforgiving at this phase. You have to earn it in this best of 1 before you get the chance to have a more stable series, a best of 3 later on in the tournament.
Indeed. Well, let's see. So far today we had Terran and Zerg advance in the first group, Flash and Sulky. Here today in the second group we had Innovation go up. Now we might have a Zerg or another Terran. Now, wouldn't it be funny if we had the Terran go up and then suddenly it's like, yeah, the round of 32 technically had the least Terrans we've ever had, but...
That would be interesting.
But all the Terrans make it through, and the round of 16 is one half Terran.
That could happen, too. I wouldn't mind seeing Sasquatch. I keep calling him Sasquatch. Savage. I don't know why.
It's basically the same thing. They're both players.
Savage get through because I just like the way he plays.
Sasquatches are savage, though.
They are. So I'm only sort of wrong when I do that. But I would love to see him get through. I really I like the way he plays Zerg. It's different than everybody else we've been seeing. And so I got my fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Bbyong's good. I won't take anything from him.
I thought it was cool, the fact that, well, everything comboed really well. The way he countered the Zealot Sky Toss, which is something that's gotten more popular in Korea. But the fact that he's focused on Spore Crawlers constantly, which obviously you're sitting at home and you're like, well, yeah, because the other things kill the Zealots. And it's like, yeah, I know that. But we don't really see that. We haven't seen that in a pro match quite at that ratio, which is really cool. And the fact that he had the Infestors mixed in there so that he can fungal some, which basically the Fungals will buy enough time that the Zealots will never end up doing damage. He can get the Clump Void Rays, and he can stop Observers even better.
What the Protoss is doing is what's called mineral dumping. They're spending so much gas on these Void Rays or on the Phoenixes. They end up with this excess of minerals. What are you going to spend on that? Well, you could get some Zealots. They kind of sponge up damage on the ground and allow you to push forward.
They can do a lot, too.
But, yeah, absolutely. But the Zerg, the response was so good is to just get those swarm hosts out and push forward with the Spore Crawlers, taking up space. Now, in some maps, you can do a mineral dump on Zealots and then attack and do an expansion, but not on that map. Yeah. It's shaped too differently. And it does now look like our game is loading. It will be our final game today to see which of these two players is going to move on and be a little bit closer to being that champion in Season 2 of the StarLeague here in Seoul, Korea. In the upper left, impressing me more and more with every game, he is...
New challenger, 8th Team Savage.
And his this other opponent in the upper right, we have our Terran player. His ID is...
Master, CJ Entus Bbyong.
Bbyong, not the easiest ID to say.
No, it's
probably
not.
If you're a Westerner.
Certainly not. Certainly not. All right. It's Whirlwind. Much bigger map than normal.
This map tends to favor Zergs, but bear in mind, it favors Zergs more so if Zerg is in, let's say, the bottom left and Terran's in the upper right like Terran is now. With them both sharing the top. Terran can push that, but it's still going to be a little bit tough. Zerg going to be as far away from their opponents as possible.
Yeah, but you know what? That's very true. But the other spot that he could be in, the bottom right there, that's the worst for Zerg. And that's because of how the natural base is set up here. The Zerg will always have the natural base, and here it covers the main from the Terran base.
Yeah.
So if he wants to drop in the main base, he has to either go through the middle in very dangerous territory where it's easy to get caught, easy to get seen, or he has to go so far around it's not even worth it. So it's going to be a lot easier for Savage to stop drop play.
Well said, Artos. It's also important to note is that the Watchtower is not as significant in these positions, since the Watchtower cannot tip you off to an attack coming or making a beeline directly to your base.
Yeah. All right, so now that we've gotten all those things, the map-specific stuff out of the way, Tasteless, why don't you talk to me about something? Because it's going to take a bit. This is so standard, it's going to be a couple minutes here before we see anything interesting coming out of these guys.
Okay, if I am... All right, because I've been streaming a lot of old-school games right now. I'm actually on this old-school gaming binge nowadays.
Yes, you are. And in fact, you inspired me. I'm playing Ninja Gaiden on my 3DS.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well, you know what it was? Is I was just thinking, God, I'm all grown up, but there were all these pieces of my childhood, I guess, I left behind because I didn't beat these old games on Nintendo.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I'm having a revenge play of Ninja Gaiden from when my brother and I got the final boss down to 1 hit point and died.
Yeah, it's incredible. They're like... What that does, I was so close to beating Ninja Turtles, the original one on Nintendo, and just couldn't do it. I want to know, what is a good RPG to play on stream? I can't promise I'm going to play it.
Final Fantasy 1 was fantastic. If your stream was hardcore, I'd say try like Dragon Warrior 1, but you really want like a Dragon Warrior 3.
Yeah, I tried Dragon Warrior 1 when I was older, and it did not work for me.
It's like playing, like...
It's hard,
almost
but it's
text-based. It's like, I don't know how to describe it.
I didn't dig it when I played it.
It's not the greatest.
Final Fantasy 1's just like a better version of it, and then the thing is it's so old that...
Well, no, try Dragon Warrior 3.
Is that NES?
Yeah.
All right.
Fantastic RPG.
I might end up doing Final Fantasy 1 first, though.
That's a good one, too.
It's just a good one.
Huh.
It'll be my third time beating it, but...
Oh my God! You don't even want to know how many times I've beaten Final Fantasy 1 tasteless.
How many times have you beaten that?
Like with every party you can even imagine. Like I just went through it. There's a Ninja Turtle party where I gave them the Ninja Turtle weapons.
Really?
And just like I had to keep the nunchucks on the master once he evolved into the old one because he can't even equip him anymore, and I had to keep him as Mike.
Oh my God! There's a guide you can go on the internet on how to beat Final Fantasy 1 with all white mages. Somebody did that.
The hardest thing I think is probably all black mages.
Oh yeah, that would be insanely hard.
Yeah, I think that I actually ended up doing that with my older brother. I can't quite remember. It was so long ago. But
that's crazy.
We played it through infinity time stasis.
With this game starting to pick up now, it looks like we got a third command center coming down here.
Yeah, and not just the third command center. We have an armory coming up.
Yeah, so
but
it looks
no
like we could have
starport yet.
Oh, there's no starport. Excuse me. I was about to say we could have some Hellbat drops, but I stand corrected.
Yeah, but I think, we will probably see an army starting up. Actually is making an army. I'm so sorry. I was, looking at the other building. Anyways, he is... Oh, wait, no. We were talking about the starport anyways. I'm like, what am I talking about right now? Anyways, yeah, we should be seeing the starport pretty soon here. This is a pretty greedy build from Bbyong. And as far as what Savage is doing, a little bit more normal.
Yeah. So, again... A lot of this matchup is very drop-heavy nowadays. One thing the Zergs like to do on this map is when you leave, they counterattack into your base.
Yeah.
And try to punish you that way. And we'll see what exactly the Zerg is going to do here, but that's a super typical move because the map is so big. You can counterattack in there, Terran has to turn around.
Yeah. All right, so Hellbat's in production, tasteless. And he's actually waiting on the starport until the reactor's done. So it looks like he wants to do a double drop as the first sign of Hellbat. So this should throw Savage off a little bit and has potential to do more damage.
I also think that when you push on this map, it's not as good to push with the siege tanks. I think it's better to push with Widow Mines because you can stall out siege tanks so much. I think when you're closer in positions on other maps, siege tanks are more valuable.
Yeah, have to agree with you there, Tasteless. Well, we do have the Roach Warren on the way, as well as the Lair and a Baneling Nest. Some good upgrades coming for Savage, but again, by going for the later starport with the reactor, getting 2 medevacs at once as your first medevacs popping out, this is much harder to predict. It's not outside of the realm of what Savage could be expecting, but it's not the most likely thing he's necessarily expecting at this moment.
Yeah. All right, well, this is just a pure macro attacking phase here. And we'll pick up when that drop does occur. I do like the wall in there by Bbyong, just keeping that nice and tight so that a counterattack can be held.
Well, we do have the 2 medevacs coming in right now. He's making the spore in the spine as he needs to.
Oh my God, that was a really good hit there. If he picks up and gets that next little batch there, he could do a lot. Okay, trying to intercept that now, but the drone's now evacuating to a third location.
Well, it looks like he's going to snipe that clean. Not a lot of damage.
Oh my God!
Oh, he has the potential here. Good runaway right there. Very nice moves going down, but does he have enough places to run to? And in the meantime, he sees all the tech down here for Savage. Bbyong taking a nice lead, I would say.
Bbyong looking good. Not quite as good as those drops from Innovation, but he did manage to kill 10 workers there.
Yeah. Not the most workers that you could have killed, but...
Right.
This is actually still so valuable because he sees just the placement of those 2 buildings tells us that likely Savage wants to do a very strong speed timing attack.
Yep. Oh, another huge drop over here. A lot of drones being taken out right now, and the dropping is not done yet. Oh my God! Okay, I thought they were going to pop out for sure.
Yeah. Looks like he probably just wasn't looking at that moment. This is getting pretty tough, man. Oh my God, he has burned these so close to death right now.
Yeah, so many of those. It looks like about 9 of them are 1 hit away from another Hellbat swipe.
Oh,
that was close.
That's some fearful stuff, Tasteless.
That's pretty scary.
Well, there's still chances for Savage here. Yeah, he's way down in supply, but with Baneling Speed and Roach Speed still on the way, what does Bbyong really have if he decides to go all in? Well, he might be able to hold it. You know, he did a lot of damage with that. He kind of knows that it's a possibility. So I'm not sure that he's still going to try it, but those are some dangerous upgrades for this portion of the game when you don't have siege tanks.
Yeah, that's very true. Now remember, a lot of these drones have been bruised before. I feel like it might be better if he was splitting up these medevacs. But we'll see.
Yeah. You know, I guess he's going for so many hits all at once. The two front Hellbats both drop at once, and 2 hits kills a drone. So
that's very true. Okay, drones evacuating down here. Meanwhile, in the upper right, I believe the other medevac is, yes, dropping and hitting. And it did nothing. I believe they got 1 drone.
Yeah. These are pretty successful so far. Look at the drones going so far out, so far away to get away from these Hellbats, rather. And, you know, Bbyong is kind of just controlling the flow of the game.
Whoa. Almost did more damage to those drones. That was a weird moment.
Yeah. Well, he is starting up on his Widowmine production. Only 50 drones are out right now. You think we're just going to see like a counterattack here from Savage?
I think so. In fact, he's making the Banelings, and normally if you see Banelings being made, it means you think you're about to be attacked, but in this case it means he's getting ready to attack his opponent here.
Yeah, and these medevacs have done such great scouting for him that he's basically on top of what's going on, too. Look how many bunkers he has. Oh, my God.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how many Banelings it'll take to tear this down, and if he has, in fact, enough. That is a sizable army there for Bbyong. And supply-wise, even, Bbyong actually in the lead here with 134 to 112.
Does he actually have enough Zerg stuff to break through all those bunkers?
I don't think so.
Well, there's more bunkers on the way now as well. We'll see. It looks like he's just going to go for it. And, well, he's going to break through the first few bunkers here, but there's a lot of Stimmarines and
more Banelings are coming in here.
Starting to deal some damage. A lot of SCVs
he gets the
dropping.
SCVs there.
Yeah, that was very nice. In fact, some more Banelings coming in.
It seems like an endless line of Zerg units just spilling in here. But it looks like Bbyong has just barely held everything off. GG.
Yeah, that was his last try there, Taste.
Can I just say, that attack, the army was not really grouped up that well.
No. Well, I think he knew that his window was basically already closing.
I felt like I was looking out of like a hotel window and staring at the highway. That attack in there, you know, it's just like, all right, stay in one lane.
There's cars coming.
Yeah, there's cars coming. Traffic's pretty steady here, but
all the cars blew up. Okay, that's normal.
Yeah, you want this big bulk of units to move in there and hit everything at once because, you know, a Terran army, it deals a lot of damage in a very short period of time. And if all those units are not there together, they can gun down everything
so quickly. I think you're right, Tasteless. I mean, what could he do, though? Bbyong knew what was going on. He had the bunkers already in place. He did enough damage with his harassment. You know, it was a good idea what Savage tried, but at the end of the day, the Hellbat drops do reign supreme. The scouting advantage, the damage, just keeping him in his base, making his drones lose so much mining time, neglecting that third base for so long or forcing the neglection of it. That's it. A Terran through.
Yep, Sasquatch tried to do a really powerful timing attack. It didn't work. It wasn't executed well, and he lost.
Yeah, it was a savage defeat.
So, all right, well, Savage does not go on, but Bbyong does.
He does. Well,
really good
another
game
Terran player. Every Terran today advances.
Yeah, actually,
things are right in Korea. Yeah. All the Terrans are advancing.
All the Terrans are getting their revenge.
Whew. Oh, my God. I almost thought for a moment.
I almost thought things were going to be different for a little bit here. Well, good job today, Artest.
All the Protosses died. You know, the Zergs played well, but the Terrans advanced. This seems right.
Man, well, we had some great games today. And actually casted some great players.
Indeed.
So if you guys are just now joining us, here are today's results. Flash first, Sulky second, no shocker there. Innovation escapes immediately out of his group. And Bbyong managed to overcome Blind and Savage.
That's right.
The next match, which will be on Thursday, same time, same place, 6 p.m., not 6:10 like a GSL Code S, but 6 p.m. sharp, Korean Standard Time. We're going to have SOS, Effort, Sue, and Morrow, and then the next, then the next match that day is going to be Symbol, Trap, Shine, and Curious.
Some really exciting groups right there, Tasteless. Very cool to see what is SOS going to do. He's played so well recently in top 4 and then a top 2 in the last 2 big tournaments. I I think he's going to come out of that group. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah. Well, great work as always today, Artosis. Thank you guys for joining us at home. Thank you, gentlemen, who stayed through the whole show. We really appreciate it. We hope you enjoyed it. And, guys, come down to our studio. Entry is free. Every day that this event is casted, we'll be right here on the main stage.
With snacks a lot of the time, I'm sure. And
yes. Come down, bring your friends. You can come whenever you want, leave whenever you want, but check it out. This is a rare moment to see us actually casting in the studio to the entire studio. You don't need a headset or anything or need to tune into a stream or anything like that.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be a lot of fun. So definitely come down and check that out.
Yeah.
So we don't have any casts for you and I tomorrow, but again on Thursday you can see us again.
We do have a Twitter event going on, as we can see here. Send us tweets at GOMTV, and we will show your tweets on air.
Yeah.
From this Thursday onward. That's actually very nice.
This is your opportunity to become E-famous, man.
That's right. Poop Feast. This is your moment.
Poop Feast 420 is going to come back.
Yeah.
There you go.
And, of course, if you're on Twitter, follow us. I'm Artosis. He's Call Me Tasteless.
Yeah.
And, of course, GOMTV.
And, of course, follow GOMTV on Twitter as well.
Yeah.
And so, again, we really appreciate you watching the cast. We hope you enjoyed it. For Artosis and myself, we love you. Good night.
I see it every time that I'm walking around.